Hi guys, my name is Papa Conley, and welcome back to Ace Attorney. Last time we did the investigation for our client, and now we are going to have our first day in court. But obviously first we gotta, So yeah, I guess we'll just get started right now. Episode 4, Farewell My Turnabout, Part 2-1 of the trial. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way, that one couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm sure that there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Oh yeah, Pearl's trailing Mia right now. I must get a complete trial today, or a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of today. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Beep, 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 beep. It's him. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, you won't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts, but even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it, and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Cantor sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer, dude, who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Where's Franziska? Court is now in session for the trial of Man on Guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? Defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. Let's tell me something. Please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma is... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Ew. Ew, is that the present? What? Shot? Somehow... I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it'd be your advantage. This is totally insane. But Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. She's alive and in stable condition. Who is it? That's good. Whew. I thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska von Karma cannot appear in court today. Yeah, you know, I think getting shot in the morning is probably a fair enough reason not to come into work. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking your place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked over this case and familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right? I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. What the fuck are you talking about? Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to witness stand. Gumshoe, 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 Gumshoe. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct, for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we're gonna start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for? Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant were alone in the room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Bare facts of the case. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. Ceremony started at 6 p.m. and around 8 p.m. and there was a short break. Special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with the testimony, Detective. First, you discovered that the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant Matt on Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body? The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would leave something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, real pros attention will be drawn here, so this bandana. Bandana. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped around tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Then what about the knife? He said it stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murder on our hands here. No, I'm not gonna question it. Why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. We couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory, then. My game theory! I'm depressed. I'll convince you that had nothing to do with the kiss. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So, you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Matt on guard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's move enough in my book. I feel like one definitely felt more in this guy's in my way than the other. If we're being honest. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. Defense fingerprints were also found all over the knife. Wow, that is a gold knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. Wait, Matt on Guard bought a golden kitchen knife? Not a kitchen knife. A golden, what's it? Kind of looks like a butter knife, but... I guess we don't get to see the knife. Okay, never mind. So the defendant's fingerprints were found all over the knife used in the stabbing. I guess it could... It's not a kitchen knife. I don't know why I called it a kitchen knife, because that's what she used to cook. I guess either like a... just butter knife or steak knife or something. Just a knife. It is a knife. Just not the kitchen variety. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty early, sir. Bears the victim's blood and the on-guard's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater's engraved. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? This button is also covered in blood. Yes, and we know that the blood is in the... blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Jam a ninja button added to the court record. All of this points to very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Grr. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Paul Greedo was also the one step behind Mr. On Guard and everything. This year seems like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Greedo lost the Grand Prix in the end. That's too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Greedo in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that, in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Because he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective, it's not, well... I guess you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! Now, Detective, let's continue with this... Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. Oh, not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? Do you have any proof that the gun belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. Ask if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Oh, but can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. That thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. We did a search on them all. That's where we found this button. So it was almost immediate after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Oh, what do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally, your overhand? Oh, was that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? Defense fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. The prosecution can prove that can prove there was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix? Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. Still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weaknesses. Let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? Yeah, how... Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle on this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh. It has a Gatewater seal set on into the handle. Gatewater. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means that this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I meant that this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not to realize this. I don't know. The question is, where did this knife come from? Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was being murdered. With that being the case, I'd like to draw the court's attention to what's on top of the table. There's a knife with a fork on the table. Got to my old man voice. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I'd like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Mr. On guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife to visit? To kill? Of course. At that, I believe the prosecution proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Seems like Edgeworth has planned this from the very beginning. It's one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a bun from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of time, Your Honor. However, although I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? It's evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix? They're just favoring the prosecution right now. There's something wrong here. And now we're visibly ringing out the sound of our defeat. Mr. Mr. Right, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? I mean, apparently we do. There is one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court is yet to see. Mr. Wright? I will say this one more time. Do not feel this trial needs to be continued at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. Don't mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. And now I need an important piece of evidence. Is it the suicide node? Is it tomato juice? I mean, that's not really evidence. Maybe the tomato juice glass? Or the article from Gossipland? I don't... Fuck it. Is it the suicide... It's gotta be the suicide report, right? Because, like, Edgeworth directly gave us... Or is it the glass? I feel like it could also easily be the wine glass. Yeah, we're gonna go with this. Sorry, right? But this time your bluffing steered you. Ah, god damn it. God damn it. It was the wine glass. It was the wine glass guy. Dang it. Well, I don't really Skip. I literally do not care. I don't care. Womp womp womp. I do not care. Oh, or it could be the button. Yeah, no, that might be it. It might just be the button. Alright, there we go. Then also we gotta present the knife. Alright, there we go. And present this.
Objection!
Yada yada, yada yada. Womp womp womp. I do not care. Do not really care at all. Please shut. Oh, you've already all. You know, I'm just gonna start. You know, real talk. Alright, we're just gonna save here just because we know that's gonna be a one. Like a one shot, one opportunity, yada yada. Alright. Let's actually start with the button, just because I feel like... Nope, that was not it. Okay. So it probably is the juice. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. Seems a mess because the victims struggle against his assailant. His vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. They're all things that were at one point sitting on the top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that's sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over with everything else is this wine glass. Wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's to say that the glass was set there after the crash took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews have really set that glass down without thinking? If I appear weak here, then the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instincts and point at certain... You just might fall for it. If you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think that this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. What? Wine glass updated in the court record. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it here. Are we done yet, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you said just makes a lot of sense. No, do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario, because it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. But wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Fortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Old bag happened. That's what happened. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You'd be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. Today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even the things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, what? That terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oh. Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyways, witness, your testimony, please. True what they say, that the youth are hothead nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? This was on the security detail of the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean, you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. And Not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man. Juan Kurita. But those two were the same age. Anyways, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well, please tell us the court what you witnessed. Deny the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Poor Edgeworth. Poor Edgeworth. Anyways, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. That's something I was interested in finding out, you know? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard, mad on guard. He was trying to sneak out his way out of Juan's room. Clearly, it wasn't very stealthy. So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to set up the stage for that trifling show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Yeah, I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing that the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what was this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip. But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we should enforce it right now. What did the witness say in the vicinity? Stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time. Oh, and what would you tell? And would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Kurita's room? I have no idea. I was aboard so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, Liz then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, it was... Yes, he was... Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now. Well, I guess I could tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yeah, see? Really? Annoying brat, when I say I saw someone, I saw that person. How do I get the sense of deja vu? I need to avoid a repeat of last year. I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail. Yeah, I need to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes, his effeminate upper lips. His right eye covered by silky hair, his sparkly, shining teeth. His teeth were shining? Well, he's just shining all around. In this week's pinup poster, dearie. This week's pinup... Why do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please just stay with what you saw that night. What? On Guard's face is the same no matter where it is. You know? You whippersnapper. So, Mr. Wright. Was this testimony just now important or relevant anyway? Just to see if I can change it later. Save here. Of course it was important, Your Honor. The chance you'd like to point out what part of that testimony was important. You don't really have to put... You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say. That's right, there is something much more valuable than a person's pride. That is time. Please don't waste the court's precious time for worthless questions. Yes, Your Honor. You just wasted his good favor. She may not remember things or be mistaken here there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. But that's just how the human mind is. It's also a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? That's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? Because you're not the one who has to question her. Alright, let's see. What was that man you saw carrying? In which hand? His right or his left? Now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question. Hey, please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright. Sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand? He wasn't carrying anything in that hand. And how about his left? Empty. Well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing. So, Mr. Wright, is testimony just not important or relevant in any way? Of course it was important, Your Honor. Yeah, no, it's not. Alright. Let's try the last one. Please tell us the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that matters. But it does. No, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? The gaudy things he's always wearing. That racing jacket. He was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women and... Oh, they're pantaloons. Men. Right. So, Mr. Wright. Was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Of course it was important, Your Honor. And pretends you'd like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to happen to be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please. Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must... He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Gonna press again, just in case. Are you sure that Fenna was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? Not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's so sure of herself to the point where self-absorption. Alright. Yeah, we don't have the Hakatama, but we do have... Or the Hakama, but we do have the button mentioning the Hakama. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's a button. It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified in single glance. Give it here! Give it here! You don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Wow. He really is a diehard fan and wants a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that rascal on guard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. See? See? On guard is the Nickel Samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant man on guard was wearing his usual racing jacket? Ah, I'm so sorry. So that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore a trendiest dress, but instead I put up wearing this ridiculous-looking outfit, you agree? This outfit's hideous, right? I've got a tape recorder stuck to my chest. It's heavy, so heavy. I wish I could switch CDs ages ago. I agree my life. You understand? Now take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting. Documentary curly. You should take a poor please. Got stuff. Right. Now hold your tongue still for just 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man. Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai? When you think about it. They're only one and the same anyway. This old bag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important to agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to show up that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Do you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be such a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, youngest today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. I think she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone do you take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure, basing. He's the Nickel Samurai. He's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the... Okay. You promise, right? Right? I'll be sending you the bill for chewing gum to your office at a later date. I'm going to send you a thank you note later, too, Edgeworth, old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket. Now he's not? Not too long ago. Let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What do you want to be when you grow up, wee whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I want to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what? See? Look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? And now it's everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. When did the court become theatrics over testimonies? All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough? Oh. Oh, I got an achievement for that. That's a fucking stupid achievement. And why would that be? That way, no one can see his face, of course. There's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think that the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Is that what you're always doing to me? I got me. It's more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. That included the Jammin' Ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when our guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyways. Let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai? As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel yet? I need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in your testimony and it's sitting plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. I'll have to figure out what you're talking about, but okay. I mean, is it that? Would it be that? I feel like it's either the stage show or the stabbing of poor. Even then, she wouldn't really know whether or not Tuan was stabbed or strangulated. No. Clear my ass. Huh. What would... Okay, what is the contradiction? I'm so confused. Wait. Okay, it was post-ceremony stage show. Where does not give the time for the... Okay. That doesn't give us the time for the ceremony, though. I guess it won't be... I'm so confused right now. Huh. I'm gonna save here. I feel like this is gonna take me a couple tries. Clearly wasn't convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder, because... No, that's just more an objective. Ah, I'm so lost. Maybe the button on this? I'm so lost. Am I missing something? Like, am I just stupid? I'm so confused. The knife? How's there a contradiction? That's how it's a contradiction, really? Because gloves? God, they're like making you pay real close attention with this one, huh? Making it sound like it's in plain sight. Like no subtle hit. That one was kind of... Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. Try to scare me with that. I'll have you know that it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? Mr. Andrade was really the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder. Then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. I Actually, he would have had to wipe all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, right! The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? Probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He's probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. That was why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did not take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, why are there any problems with his theory? There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? For argument's sake, let's just suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Oh yeah, I had the knife on him. This knife, it was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At the time, the defense held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from Supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, there should be glove marks left on the knife. The defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over like a bee's in a hive. That brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order, I say. Order the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? Frame Matt on guard? I'd say to frame Matt on guard, but... frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame... aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? We just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. If that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Grr. Witness? Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Jipu? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... You say you missed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were just waiting for Mr. Juan Kurita. Am I correct, witness? The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? Silverback was waiting around in front of the victim's room. This doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. Even if the two I think me is hitting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting around. You were waiting around for this person, weren't you?
Take that!
Are you telling me that's not correct? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? That doesn't count? Because, like, why would she be waiting around then? If okay, that's bullshit. That is simple. That is major bull. Frame man on guard.
Objection! Objection!
I do not care. Alright.
Take that!
Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Odgaard's manager. But why would she wait? Would be the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? Seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Well, this is... Ah, I see. So she seems to be really into the article. If it can be called such a thing. This manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt? I just thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information, some secret information from a certain source. That's why I was doing my little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how many times will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about the secret information. Get ready. I take the wind out of you young'uns. We're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. That on guard is one evil man. He thought he could just ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I can't condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, this is top secret, you got it? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant said his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have to look into this matter. I found that the truth the article poses is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true? This proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, On Guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Right, we're just gonna... Yeah. can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A. The name of the magazine. This came from this gossip land. What, are you saying that gossip is all just packs of lies? What do you know? I suppose you'll swear to me that the news is 100% true. Honestly, son, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. This discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. When did I do anything like that? Anyways, a guard will never get me to say touche. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dimwit one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much. Well, then what on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity? You don't have any proof of that. Mr. On Guard did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got. Should prove that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan. I'm gonna let you push me around that easily. There's many a man whose exact same words paid dearly for them. You should brace yourself this time. Here's my proof that Mr. Guard did not hold any ill will towards the victim. The suicide report.
Take
Is that it? You think I'd take it from here, Edgy Poo? What are you handing it over to me for? So you can give that jagged-headed baboon boy a message for me, please. So that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing. What she says, right? Or should I say baboon boy? Yes, I agree. There isn't much of a piece of evidence, baboon boy. Did I just get a new nickname here? And you were lecturing me without saying things without proof. You just give me a free pass to whatever I want. Whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyways. So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need. You were going to teach her a lesson? I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop. That's too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time is for the kids. Over. It's information like that no one knows yet. That's true. Then how did you know the secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even you roll a hole in my membrane. You'll never find out. I'll roll that old back and secret piece of information. Press further. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today. HP, what are you doing? Help me. What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me. You'll get your reward. I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten this information from anywhere. It's even possible that it's spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering. No, you don't know where this information came from? Quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did I get her inside information from? Must be something I can use to figure it out. Alright.
Hold it.
Let's try... Let's try that again. We're gonna present some evidence this time. I say it's either the camera... or from Lotta Heart. We're gonna start with just Lotta Heart. I feel like that'd make much more sense. You call that proof? Looks more like proof of spite towards the witness. Get right back up your claims. Third. Objection sustained. Alright. Yep. Just tell me I'm stupid. Tell me I'm stupid and let me go home. Alright. What if we say that Miss Oldbag stole the camera?
Take that.
The investigative photographer, Lotta Heart. Yeah, because we could present Lotta Heart, but we couldn't present the camera. Even though, you know, it'd probably be implying the same things. No, go ahead. Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. Report such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then, everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. My top secret list of groceries to buy. And then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puppy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm a sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she has written. Edgy-poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. Only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything before. You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vengeance wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper, so I guess we overlooked just this once. Looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up her now, she'll get away. To find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? It's a stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I say this piece of paper from a terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag. I don't believe the note was the only thing you stole that night. I bet you stole the camera. Miss Oldbag. That note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Heart was raising a huge stink over a camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie's $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why, witness? What is it, Gramps? You have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera, too. Sure, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. This is the camera you're looking for. Ah, that's... What, even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat my meals like you, and I fall in love and borrow things from people. Oh, I think your definition of borrowing's a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's what I noticed. It said, slime bag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. When I saw that, I had pictures to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard, so it's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. That proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Lotto's photo added to the court record. But what does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo itself does not prove that the person is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Engarde clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai costume is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Well, it's decisive and we're done for. There is objection here and blow it, then I'll put Maya's life in jeopardy. You can make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. Oh, that lot of stuff. There's... I have a bet I know exactly what it is, but I'm saving just in case I'm stupid and wrong. There's something strange about this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree that there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defendant to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? What are you planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyways, please look at the photo one more time. Do I believe you could honestly find something wrong with this photo? That you should go on... Only need one chance, correct? Well... Something wrong with this photo. Can't let this chance go by. Where the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's a lot of focus. Why she can't even take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. This photo is so strange. The lack of arm.
Take that!
This person here, of course. You mean the Nickel Samurai? And what's wrong with that? At the time of the murder, Mr. Engarde was in his own room. This Nickel Samurai is... I was gonna talk about the arm, not the Nickel Samurai. I think it's about time you're tired. So it's not the arm. Wait. Don't let the chance fly away from you, Mr. Wright. Alright. Time to try again. Let me try see if don't know what's wrong with the photo. Probably should have tried saying there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, I'm gonna cheat again. Really? We're looking at his legs? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at the legs. Looking at them toesies. That's what's weird about this. I like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And? What does that mean? The costume of this person. This photo could not have Mr. On guard. What's the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Pay particular attention to the area at the bottom of the Hakama. His sockets. You can see his sockets. Exactly, however, in this photo, the samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. This person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned this thing around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. Just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. Feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? Or it could be that character development he's gone through. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not mad on guard, everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that this person inside the costume is not mad on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. We should be focused on his Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Adrian Andrews, I guess? Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure Matt on guard and Juan Creed are probably also about the same height, too, right? I just assume that they're so similar. Or they're implied to be very similar in so many ways. I assume height would also be a way they're similar. But... Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she could freely move in and out of Mr. On Guard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night. And how does that all add up? I think that makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. On Guard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon? Why don't you just say that it is what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. Just gonna save real quick because I feel like there's gonna be another. That was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order, order, order! Looks like this trial has had a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a sub poeta for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing your testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, the trial will go on for another day. One more day. Ah. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, shall we set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow? What am I supposed to do now? Just about to adjourn the court. Just gonna raise objection. Now then, objection! Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? He knows. He knows. He's a knower. He's a knower. But we can't continue to do this. Unexpected development. Unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to a sub-pointing this Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What's the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. Since she is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? So I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Look at this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Well, that was... It was... It definitely is. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll end things off here. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you later.